Let me just explain why we are currently committed to economic growth. And let me mention something which is very seldom mentioned on political platforms these days for fear of offending people profoundly, and this is the C word: capitalism. Let me try to explain this in very simple terms, because it is in fact a very simple problem. At the heart of capitalism is the practice of lending money at interest. You lend £100, you expect to get £105 back. That's what capitalism is all about. It's about using money to make more money. But if you get £105 back, you have done one of two things. The first is to increase the money supply by 5%. The second is to increase the velocity of transactions, in other words, the speed at which people spend, by 5%. One of those two things is necessary if you're increasing your payback from £100 to £105. Now, unless that growth in the money supply or the velocity of the use of money is matched by a concomitant growth in the supply of goods and services, then that 5% that you've just added to your intake of money becomes 5% inflation. The only way in which that growth in the money supply is not inflationary is if it is matched by a concomitant growth in the supply of goods and services. If that is not the case, the system collapses. This is why the Bank of England is established, to prevent inflation, and it prevents inflation by encouraging the supply of goods and services to match the supply of money. Capitalism, in other words, is inherently dedicated to a growth economy. You cannot, ladies and gentlemen, have green capitalism. It is a contradiction in terms. And you don't even have to take a political position to say that. You don't have to say that you're a socialist or a communist. You just have to understand that mathematically it cannot work. Our challenge is not just to change our light bulbs and drive better cars or even ride our bicycles. It's not just to decarbonize our energy supply by 100%. It is to change our entire economic thinking and our entire economic system. And that requires, ladies and gentlemen, more than technical thinking, more than economic thinking, more than political thinking. It requires a profound ethical and philosophical shift which can only take place within our own hearts. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a revolution of the spirit that is required, as well as a revolution of our political systems. It is not going to happen in Bali. It is not going to take place in number 10 Downing Street. We are not going to hear Gordon Brown of his own volition standing up and saying, we must find an alternative to capitalism. It is going to start with us. I want to see you on that excavating equipment every week of the year. Yes, you and you. And I want to see you there as well. All of us have got to start taking direct action. We have to put our bodies on the line. We have to put our minds on the line. We have to put our hearts on the line. Because nothing other than a full 100% commitment with every cell in our bodies, with every breath we take, is going to carry out this transformation of our thinking and of our acting, which is required by the greatest challenge that humanity has ever faced. Only 3 questions are now worth asking of ourselves, and they are as follows. If not now, when? If not here, where? And if not us, who? Thank you.